Hello everyone, Ghost here. Today I thought about doing something different. Well, I say something different, I just playing sort of same fucking video games I always play. But I feel like I'd go and do a video based on my experiences as playing video games as an autistic gamer. I know this is a bit like of a weird subject to sort of go into, like just say, "Oh, hello, I'm just a guy who just plays video. I'm this autistic guy who plays video games. Here, I'm after attention. Please give me support." Blah 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 blah. But like, and also like seriousness. I kind of like want to go into like what's what it like feels like being a guy with autism who plays video games. Even though I'm mildly affected more than others, it's still I personally still feel like it can affect me at different points. So without like sort of going into more detail, I feel like I should like it, shut up. I should go into like what my experiences has been in this regard. So, what is autism? It's basically a neurological effect that can like alter a person's perception of either social situations or how their brain and mind can interpret things. So, for example, like things might be more difficult for me to proceed and to interpret. Like someone's response could be, I could interpret someone's response to be more hostile than actually is intended. However, I cannot comprehend what this would be. Why is this is the case? But it's just how my mind would perceive that situation. Again, but I've got like I'm mildly on the spectrum compared to some other guys I played with and some of my other friends who I sort of socialize with, because I feel like that's one thing I've noticed in gaming that well, it's either one thing I noticed in gaming as one thing I like. Either I just the people I hang out with just happen to be like that. If that's the case, then cool. That's just how it is. But so what was I supposed to say? So as a gamer who like can struggles with communication, it's for me it's kind of it is like embarrassing or like degrading because I try to communicate what my thoughts and feelings are and I struggle to get my words out. Like it severely handicaps my sense of perception and all my mental capacity in some regards, like in terms of trying to communicate. However, it doesn't mean like one is like intellectually more deficient than the other person. It's just a case of like this person can examine. Sure, let's go with examine. This person can interpret and describe one's social situation, compared to someone else's certain situations. However, one thing that does like bother me is this perception that autistic player gamers or like people are cannot communicate effectively. They 100% can communicate effectively. It's just that people haven't discovered what the best way to communicate with them for. for me, I communicate better like playing video games, because that's my outlet. Um, like some people, like some other autistic people, like um, like trains as that sort of stereotype, um, and other options like other objects and stuff like that. And yeah, that's kind of what I went into. That I kind of just went into the stereotype of it. But for me, but for one who communicates and plays with a lot of guys who not have the same sort of like scale on the spectrum as someone else. Because a bunch of my friends have a lot of are different from each other. We like different things. However, like we still feel common cause in how we communicate in some regards. Because like like autistic gamers will feel like more it's comfortable talking to like your friends that you gain online by playing video games as a form of joy and communication. Um, how, however, one thing I feel like people try, well, not people, like more like game companies try to bring. This is all like awareness sort of shit, months and shit. I feel like people don't actually give a damn about anyone's disability or like learning difficulty. Like for example, like some gamers would like say, "You don't pick on him; he's autistic." Like, blah blah blah. Then would not like who just don't like proceed to interact with the person who wants the social interactions, like for example, like I'm sort of just going off on a tangent, but um, one one situation I can think of is when I was a kid, I struggled to fit in severely. I had no idea. All my friends at the time were into different like stuff. I could not. I would get picked on because I can't interpret some conversations in some regard, and I had like mentally I was stuck in my comfort zone. I did not like change at all, because it of the way my brain is perceived, and a lot of other guys I know with the sort of same not just not disability, not illness, the same difficulty in terms of social interaction. They struggle to adapt to different environments. So like being in school, like I prefer my own company and I just like to sort of just get through each day as it is. However, one thing that I feel like is not appreciated is basically you will not be supported by your institution effectively in some scenarios. Like when I was in school, I was basically just like put in a special class, just treated like treated to say, right, this is how we communicate. Bear in mind, I was 16 to 15. I was being given like information tabs that were based for like I don't know 10 year olds, 11 year olds. Even the guys I was with, they were socially they were socially able. They can I wouldn't say they were highly on the spectrum. One of them was. Bless his heart, he was severely more on it than other two. But it's like it's like that feeling where you could you're just like the odd one out, and other gay guys are just like there for shits and giggles. Oh, you can't do this because you can't speak clearly. Because I start up my words a hell of a lot. Um, Even when I'm reading a script. This is why I don't really write scripts often when I'm doing my videos, because I just cannot communicate effectively or not whilst reading off a script. Um, and it's hard. It's hard to get what I want to say out. Because when I'm put in situations where my I need to explain my actions and stuff. So, because for example, I work in a care setting, so I can't at times when I'm having to make a phone call for an ambulance next to kin, and they're asking me questions, and that like when my mind tries to communicate down to my throat. Basically, my mind trying to communicate to my mouth to say, right, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what's happening. It just doesn't like want to contribute to that factor. But again, that's just each person has their own like sensory problems. Because at the end of the day, it's a spectrum, so you can be really high on the spectrum where you're like able to, well, not able to, unable to communicate effectively by eye contact or anything to do with that. You verbally struggle to communicate your thoughts and phrases to your family, your mum, your dad. Um, it's hard. Trust me, it's hard. I'm not even like that severely autistic. I can communicate verbally, eye contact. I can't write down. I just my because my autism affects my coordination, so I struggle to write down clearly. It's like when I write down, I look like I'm someone's testing out a fucking biro. So that's just how it is. But yeah. Um, and one thing I feel like is underappreciated is that whilst people with autism can struggle to communicate their thoughts and feelings, at the same time, it does not mean we're like every single one is emotionally weak. Because one thing, like, don't get me wrong, there's people should be treated how like you treat each other, but the sad thing is there's always going to be one little two bullies that will try to basically get a rise out of someone just because they're bored, shits and giggles for them, and that's just because they got nothing better to do than be arseholes. Now, some people cannot like interpret that as people being them arseholes, but that's just how it is. If they can't do it, then I feel like people should communicate. Right, this person's been an arsehole to you. Are you okay? And at the same time, it should be like the person will 9 times out of 10 the person will be like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. Like, because at the end of the day, all people with autism are normal human beings. They're normal people. They work. We work. We game. We have fun. We talk to each other. We talk to our families, our loved ones. We're just normal people with a difficulty in human interaction and perception in terms of social situations and that. Like, that's just how it is. Whenever when I speak to my nan, sometimes I feel like she's sort of just been like hard on me, or like is just being like overly abrupt. But at the same time, someone, my auntie, could say, "No, you're actually being abrupt because you don't understand this." And the thing is, that's absolutely fine because people like perceive things differently, and we're all human. As long as we try to like express say, "No, oh sorry, that was not my intention," that's okay because at the end of the day, we're not all gonna be able to. Like, we're not all going to be like able to get our feelings across 100% accurately at a time. That's just how it is. It's just a simple fact of life, but doesn't mean it necessarily a bad thing. You know, we're all different. We all like to be treated in different regard, and we all like to be treated equally. So I feel like that's the main thing. Anyway, that was just a random my random thoughts on playing with autism. That's just how like living with autism. I know it's a bit of a random subject. I didn't really go into detail. I should really have done, but I just could not communicate it any other way. All right, see you guys later.
We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating.